Too many people are chasing bigger things without ever learning how to handle the small ones. They want more money but can't manage the little they already have. They want more responsibility but haven't proven faithful with the small tasks. They want a bigger stage, but they're careless with the little opportunities in front of them today. The truth is, life tests us in the details before it trusts us with the greater. If you can't handle a little, how can you handle a lot? If you can't finish one book, why buy 10 more? If you can't keep your promises today, what makes you think tomorrow will suddenly bring more discipline? The foundation of success is built on mastering less. It means taking what you already have, what you already know, what's already in your hands, and squeezing every ounce of value from it. Don't add more until you've proven you can manage what you've got. Think of it this way: success is not about addition first, but multiplication. Multiplication comes from mastering. When you master the little, life multiplies it into more. When you neglect the little, life subtracts. The man who is excellent with little things will soon be entrusted with big things. The woman who disciplines herself in small habits will soon be elevated into greater positions. But those who chase more, without discipline in less, end up overwhelmed, exhausted, and empty-handed. So instead of running after more books, more money, more opportunities, more possessions, ask yourself, have I mastered what I already have? Have I been faithful with what's already in my care? Am I excellent with the small before I ask for the great? When you master less, more will come naturally. Life rewards mastery, not chasing. Mastery of little builds capacity for more. It sounds so simple, but it is one of the greatest secrets to building a successful and meaningful life. Everything begins small. Every fortune began with a single dollar saved. Every great business began with one idea. Every strong relationship began with one act of trust. But here's the question: did you handle that little thing well? Because how you treat the small is exactly how you'll treat the big. Most people think they need more to get started. They think if they had more money, they'd be better with finances. If they had more time, they'd be more productive. If they had more opportunities, they'd be more disciplined. But the truth is, the way you handle what you already have reveals whether you're ready for more. If you waste a little money, you'll waste a lot of money. If you're careless with a small amount of time, you'll be careless with a large amount of time. If you can't follow through on small promises, how will you handle great responsibilities? That's why mastery of little builds capacity for more. Life is designed to test you in the small first. It's a proving ground. The small is the training. It stretches you, disciplines you, and prepares you for what's next. But if you run from the small, you'll never qualify for the big. Think about it. A farmer doesn't start with a huge harvest. He starts with a single seed. If he plants it, waters it, cares for it, and sees it grow, then more comes. One seed becomes a handful becomes a field. But if he throws away the seed because it looks too small, he misses the future harvest. That's how life works. The seed is the little, and the harvest is the more. You cannot get the harvest without first mastering the seed. The same principle applies to habits. A small habit, when done consistently, builds the capacity for greater discipline. Reading 10 pages a day doesn't seem like much, but over time it builds knowledge and understanding far beyond what you imagined. Saving just a little money may look insignificant, but it builds the muscles of financial discipline. Waking up 15 minutes earlier doesn't feel life-changing, but it builds the capacity for greater productivity. When you master those small disciplines, bigger opportunities begin to open. But here's the mistake many make: they despise small beginnings. They look down on the little. They say, "This isn't enough," or "This is beneath me." And because they dismiss the small, they disqualify themselves from the big. Life doesn't reward desire for more. It rewards discipline with less. Mastery doesn't mean perfection. It means commitment, consistency, and care. It means you don't ignore the small details, you don't waste the little resources, and you don't overlook the small chances that come your way, because each one is a test. Each one is life asking, can you be trusted with this? Can you be faithful here? And if the answer is yes, then life slowly expands your territory. This is why some people stay stuck. They want more, but never master what they already have. They ask for promotion, but come late to their current job. They want more money, but spend recklessly with the money they already earn. They want deeper relationships, but can't even maintain respect in the small conversations. Until you learn mastery of little, you're not ready for more. The good news is anyone can start. No matter how small your resources, no matter how little your opportunities, you can practice mastery right where you are. Be excellent with what's in your hand. Use your time wisely. Take care of your responsibilities with care. Build habits that seem small but compound into greatness. Mastery of little is like preparing the soil. If the soil is ready, the seed will grow. If the soil is neglected, even the greatest seed won't take root. In the same way, if you discipline yourself with what you already have, you're preparing yourself for growth. And when the chance for more comes, and you'll be strong enough to handle it. So don't wait for more before you decide to become excellent. Excellence is not what you do with more, it's what you do with less. And the moment you start treating the small things with care, you've already begun building the capacity for greater things. Life is watching, and it always rewards those who master little with the gift of more. Neglecting small responsibilities disqualifies you for bigger ones. That's a principle life never bends. Many people wonder why bigger opportunities never come their way, why promotions pass them by, or why doors don't open. They think life is unfair or someone else is holding them back. But in most cases, the reason is simple. They haven't proven themselves faithful with the little responsibilities already in their care. Responsibility is a test. Every small duty, every minor task, every simple promise is life's way of measuring you. If you neglect those, you send a message. I can't be trusted with more. And life takes you at your word. Think about it. If you owned a business, would you promote someone who constantly ignores small assignments? If they're careless with the small, how could you ever trust them with the big? Life works exactly the same way. The tragedy is many people are waiting for big breaks while ignoring little tasks. They want leadership, but they don't lead themselves. They want wealth, but they're careless with a few dollars. They want recognition, but they don't take pride in the unseen work. What they don't realize is that those small responsibilities are the doorway to the larger ones. Neglect them, and the door closes. Honor them, and the door opens. Consider this character is built in the little things. The way you handle small responsibilities is the reflection of your true self. If you're disciplined in the small, you'll be disciplined in the great. If you're careless in the small, no amount of desire will make you careful with the great. It's not about what you say you'll do with more. It's about what you're doing with what you already have. Think about time. If you waste hours every day, what makes you think having more time will solve your problems? It won't. If you can't manage your calendar now, a bigger one will only magnify the chaos. The same goes for money. If you're careless with a little, more money won't make you better. It will only make you more careless on a bigger scale. Small responsibilities are training grounds, not obstacles. They shape you, discipline you, and prove whether you're ready. Neglect also creates habits. Every time you shrug off a small responsibility, you're training yourself for failure. You're building a habit of avoidance, and habits are stronger than wishes. You can wish for more all you want, but if your habits show neglect, life has no reason to trust you with greater opportunities. But here's the other side. Honoring small responsibilities builds strength. Every time you show up, even when no one is watching, you're building a reputation with yourself and with life. You're saying, I can be trusted here. That trust, little by little, qualifies you for greater things. And when the opportunity comes, you won't have to scramble to prove yourself. You'll already be prepared. Think of a young apprentice learning a trade. He starts with sweeping the floor, cleaning the tools, doing the tasks no one else wants to do. If he neglects those, he'll never get the chance to work on the important projects. But if he does them with care, if he honors those small responsibilities, the master soon realizes he's ready for more. That's how life works. The menial becomes meaningful when you treat it with excellence. The truth is, small responsibilities are never really small. They are seeds of trust, tests of character, and stepping stones to the future. Neglect them and you disqualify yourself. Respect them and you multiply your chances for growth. So ask yourself, what small responsibilities am I overlooking? What promises have I been careless with? Where have I told myself? It doesn't matter. Because those areas matter more than you think. Life is watching how you treat the small. And your future is waiting to see if you can handle today before it hands you tomorrow. Neglect is the silent thief of opportunity. But responsibility, even in the smallest of things, is the builder of capacity, trust, and success. The choice is yours. Will you let neglect disqualify you, or will you prove yourself faithful in the little so that bigger doors can open? Success grows from discipline in what you already have. That's where the real journey begins. Too many people look outside themselves for answers, waiting for new opportunities, waiting for more resources, waiting for the right connections. But success doesn't start with what you're waiting for. It starts with what you already possess. And the difference between people who grow and people who stay stuck is discipline. Discipline in handling what's already in their hands. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Without it, the gap stays wide. With it, even the smallest resources become enough to start. A little money, when handled with discipline, multiplies. A little time, when scheduled with discipline, produces great accomplishments. A small skill, when practiced with discipline, grows into mastery. The problem isn't that people don't have enough. The problem is that they don't manage what they already have with care and consistency. Think about time. Everyone gets the same 24 hours. The difference between wasted days and successful days isn't how much time you had, it's how disciplined you were with the hours you already owned. Some people let time slip through their fingers like sand, while others treat it like treasure, investing every minute with purpose. Success doesn't demand more hours. It demands better use of the hours you already have. The same is true with money. Many believe wealth comes from having more, but wealth comes from being disciplined with little. Save when it's small, spend wisely when it's little, and you're preparing yourself for greater abundance. Without discipline, more money just multiplies mistakes. With discipline, even the smallest savings grow into stability and freedom. Success grows from discipline, not luck, and not even abundance. It grows from order, control, and responsibility. And think about knowledge. You don't need to know everything to start building success. What matters is whether you are disciplined with what you do know. Read a book and apply it. Listen to wisdom and practice it. Take the knowledge already inside your mind and put it to work. Too many people are chasing more information while ignoring the application of what they already know. Knowledge without discipline becomes clutter. Knowledge with discipline becomes power. The same principle applies to relationships. Everyone wants strong, supportive connections, but those grow only when you discipline yourself in how you treat people daily. Respect, honesty, keeping your word. These are the disciplines that build lasting bonds. If you're careless with the small gestures, careless with your words, careless with your commitments, don't expect deeper trust to come. Discipline in what you already have is what strengthens relationships and draws greater ones into your life. Now, discipline isn't glamorous. It's not exciting in the moment. It often looks small, ordinary, even boring. Waking up on time, keeping promises, showing up prepared, saving a little money, reading a few pages, practicing a skill daily. None of these will make headlines, but they are the building blocks of everything you want. Success is not built in a day, it's built daily. And discipline is the tool that shapes it. Without discipline, opportunities slip away. Doors open, but you're not prepared to walk through them. Success arrives, but you don't have the structure to sustain it. Discipline is preparation. It's training for the future before it arrives. It takes what you already have and molds it into something bigger, stronger, and more capable. That's why success grows from it, because discipline stretches you to become someone who can handle more. Discipline also protects you from chaos. Without it, more becomes dangerous. More money without discipline leads to debt. More freedom without discipline leads to waste. More opportunities without discipline lead to overwhelm. But when discipline is in place, more becomes a blessing, not a burden. That's why life waits for discipline before it delivers abundance. So, take a look at what's already in your life. Don't dismiss it as small or insignificant. Instead, ask yourself, am I disciplined with this? Am I using it well? Am I consistent in managing it? Because success doesn't come when you get more. It comes when you master what you already have. That's the secret. Discipline makes the little grow, and the little, when grown, becomes much. Remember, discipline today creates freedom tomorrow. It may feel restrictive now, but it produces expansion later. It may feel limiting in the moment, but it builds the foundation for limitless growth. Success doesn't fall out of the sky. It's cultivated by discipline, one small act at a time. Handle what you have with excellence, and soon you'll discover that success was never about waiting for more. It was about what you did with what was already in your hands. Adding more without mastery creates chaos, not progress. It's one of life's hardest lessons because most people believe the answer to their problems is simply more. More money, more opportunities, more time, more connections. But if you haven't learned to master what you already have, adding more only magnifies the problem. More doesn't fix lack of discipline. More doesn't correct disorganization. More doesn't erase carelessness. Instead, more without mastery creates confusion, frustration, and eventually collapse. Think about money. If you can't handle a small paycheck, what makes you think a larger one will solve your problems? A bigger paycheck only multiplies the same bad habits. More spending, more debt, more stress. Without mastery, more becomes dangerous. But with mastery, even a little can grow into stability and abundance. The size of the paycheck isn't the problem. The discipline in handling it is. The same is true with time. Everyone wants more hours in the day. But what would you do with them if you had them? If you're already wasting the hours you do have, more hours will simply give you more to waste. Progress doesn't come from having more time, it comes from mastering the hours already on your clock. A wasted hour is wasted whether you have 24 of them or 30. Opportunities work the same way. People say, if I just had more opportunities, I'd finally make it. But opportunity without mastery is a curse, not a blessing. Imagine being handed a stage before you've learned to prepare, to practice, and to speak with clarity. You wouldn't shine, you'd stumble. The stage would expose your lack of preparation. That's what happens when life gives more to someone who hasn't mastered less. What was meant to lift them ends up breaking them. Think about the farmer. He can't plant 10 fields if he hasn't yet mastered one. If he does, he'll spread himself too thin, lose focus, and watch everything fall apart. But if he masters the one field, tends it, waters it, learns its seasons, then he's ready for the second, then the third. Expansion only works when it's built on mastery. Without it, growth collapses under its own weight. The truth is, chaos is the natural result of taking on more than you're prepared to handle. You may look busy, you may feel important, but you're not progressing, you're just spinning. You're running in circles, carrying more and more, but not advancing in any meaningful way. Progress is not about quantity, it's about quality. Mastery creates quality. Without it, adding more is just noise. Now, mastery doesn't mean you need to be perfect before you move forward. It means you've built enough discipline, enough consistency, and enough understanding to handle what's already on your plate with excellence. When you reach that point, then adding more creates progress instead of chaos. More becomes a blessing because it sits on a foundation of mastery. Relationships are another example. Adding more friendships, more partnerships, or more commitments doesn't create deeper connection if you haven't mastered how to treat people with respect, honesty, and care. In fact, more relationships without mastery will spread you thin, leave people disappointed, and create conflict instead of harmony. Master the small circle first, then life will expand your influence. The same is true with knowledge. Some people chase more books, more courses, more information, but they've never applied what they already know. Knowledge without application is clutter. More knowledge without mastery creates confusion. But when you master a few principles and live them out, they expand your life. It's not how much you know, it's how well you've mastered what you know. So here's the warning, don't be fooled by the desire for more. More isn't always the answer. Sometimes it's the trap. More will only magnify your strengths or expose your weaknesses. If you're disciplined, organized, and consistent with little, then more will multiply your success. But if you're careless and scattered, more will multiply your problems. Progress is not about addition, it's about preparation. And preparation is mastery. The world doesn't reward the person who has the most, but the one who has mastered what they have. When you master your time, your money, your habits, your relationships, your responsibilities, then you're ready for more. Until then, adding more only clutters your life and keeps you from moving forward. So before you ask for more, ask yourself, have I mastered less? Have I proven faithful with the small? Am I disciplined with the little opportunities I already have? If the answer is no, then more will not help. It will only hurt. But if the answer is yes, then more will come, and when it does, it will produce progress, not chaos. Life is generous, but it's also wise. It doesn't hand out more to those who would only destroy themselves with it. It gives more to those who have mastered less. That's the path to true progress. Life tests you with less before it trusts you with more. That's the order, and it never changes. Every great responsibility, every meaningful opportunity, every promotion you've ever dreamed of, first comes a test with something small. If you pass the test, life opens the door wider. If you fail, the door stays shut. It's not punishment, it's preparation. Life is wise enough not to give you more than you can handle. It waits to see what you do with less. Think of it like school. You don't start with the advanced lessons. You start with the basics. First grade comes before high school. Addition comes before algebra. The teacher is not withholding harder problems from you. The teacher is preparing you to handle them. Life works the same way. It gives you the basics first. And the question is, will you master them? Will you take the small lessons seriously enough to prove you're ready for the greater ones? Many people fail this test because they underestimate less. They treat small responsibilities as unimportant, small opportunities as beneath them, and small resources as not enough. They say, when I get more, then I'll get serious. But life doesn't work like that. More is never given to those who neglect less. If you ignore the test, you don't graduate. You repeat the class. And that's why some people feel stuck. They've been repeating the same lesson for years, wondering why life hasn't moved them forward. Consider money. If you can't manage a little, why would life hand you a lot? A small paycheck is not a curse. It's a classroom. It's life asking, can you budget this? Can you save something here? Can you live with discipline even when it's tight? If you prove faithful, then life says, all right, let's see what you do with more. But if you blow it, waste it, or complain about it, why would more make things better? It would only multiply the same problems. The same is true with time. You want more freedom, more flexibility. Life first tests you with the time you already have. What are you doing with your mornings? How do you use the quiet hours? Do you waste them or invest them? If you can't master a few hours, you won't handle full days of freedom. Life watches carefully. It doesn't reward excuses. It rewards discipline with what's already in your hands. Even in relationships, this principle is true. If you can't be trusted with the confidence of one friend, why should life give you influence over many? If you can't be faithful in the small promises, why would anyone trust you with larger commitments? Respect, trust, influence. All of it grows when you prove yourself with less first. It's also true with opportunities. Everyone wants the spotlight, but life rarely hands it to someone untested. First comes the small stage, the small audience, the small assignment, and how you treat that determines whether you're ready for more. If you give your best when only a few are watching, life sees that and says, this person can handle more. But if you slack off when it seems small, life will not give you the bigger stage. The small stage is the test. Life is not cruel, it's careful. It knows that giving too much too soon destroys people. More money without discipline creates ruin. More freedom without structure leads to waste. More power without character leads to abuse. That's why the test comes first. Life is waiting for you to show that you can handle less with wisdom before it trusts you with more. So, the right attitude is to treat every small responsibility as a test. Don't despise it. Don't complain about it. Don't think it doesn't matter. Every little thing is a stepping stone. Every assignment is a classroom. Every dollar, every hour, every opportunity, small as it seems, is life's way of asking, are you ready? And the way you answer is not with words, but with action. When you pass the test of less, life moves you forward. Slowly at first, but surely. Your world expands. Your influence grows. Your opportunities multiply. And it all started because you honored the little things. So the next time you find yourself wishing for more, pause and ask, am I passing the test of less? Because the truth is, life is watching. And only when you master less will it trust you with more.